Hey folks, it's Elaine Marolakos Edelson, and I'm going to quote Eugene Levy from Splash. What a week I'm having. Oh my God, the technology that failed us last night and this morning. Anyway, I just set it all up again. So here we are. Come join me. We're talking about no, we're not. We're doing an oracle reading for October. Yay! So come say hello. We're going to be working with 3 specific decks, but first I want to quickly cover the fact that we're going to be doing a double eclipse. Everybody just calm down. We're going to be doing a double eclipse session. So I'm going to post it right here. You can grab your session. I'm going out of town. I had a beautiful healing yesterday in this brilliant, gorgeous full moon that we had last night hanging right outside our door. And then I had a beautiful coherence healing with the Joe Dispenza people. I'll be doing another advanced workshop with them next week and come back to you even more supercharged. So please come by, say hello. We're going to pick 3 different, if you're watching this in a replay or live, if it applies, it applies. Whether it's today, it's now. It's always now. So here are the decks from which to choose. And I want you to be able to look at the oracle reading for your sun, rising, or moon. Maybe it's a specific issue. So there's only going to be 3 decks. And the first one will be Colette Baron-Reid's The Enchanted Map. And that's the first deck. And then the second deck will be Heavenly Bodies Astrology by Lily Ashwell. And that's going to be the second deck. And then the third deck is going to be another Colette. And this is the Goddess deck by Colette Baron-Reid. That's number 3. So I want you to be able to tune in as I go forward and do the readings, and you can get, hey, Bianca. Hi. Bianca, did you call me this morning? Did someone call me this morning? We had so many scams and fraud alerts on our computers and on our phones, and we were getting phone calls, and it was just like, so I would just, yeah. If you call, you did. Okay, because my gut feeling was after we got all the tech stuff done, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to call you back. So please send me an email, aum1133@gmail.com, and then we can have a nice discussion. Because after the flurry, and I mean like lights were breaking, I couldn't get online with one computer. The other one was cycling. I mean, it was just, we just started laughing. My husband is doing fraud detection in his office for all of our computers and our websites and everything that's happening. And I was, yeah. Okay. So please email me, Bianca, and we'll, now that I'm settled. Okay. So let's start with a little clearing. It was a flurry of activity this morning, and I'm just going to do 2 angel tuners. Hold your ears if you have tinnitus. Just to set the tone and take a nice deep breath. And settle. Hey, Christy's here, and Heather, I'm so glad you've arrived. Again, if you're just joining us before I get into the actual reading after this chaotic morning that we laughed at, if you choose a deck, it can be for a specific issue. It could be for your sun, for your rising, for your moon, and or it can be clarity. Because remember, the decks and the cards aren't giving you the answer. Your higher inner being is guiding you toward picking whatever. But if you're very much into astrology, you might say, oh, I want this deck for my rising sign, and then the Lily Ashwell deck for my moon sign, however you want to do it, or the sun sign, or it's the financial issue, the health issue, the whatever issue. So we're going to start with Colette Baron-Reid's Creek. The Enchanted Map is choice number 1. And then choice number 2 is Lily Ashwell's Astrology, which I will expand on that for even more regarding astrology. And then the third deck will be Colette Baron-Reid's Goddess Power. Okay. So, we already have a winner. Deck number 1. You're all winners. And I'm so grateful that you're here. Remember to share, like, subscribe, get the word out. That's how I'm going to expand. All right. Now I am having an eclipse special. I posted the link in here somewhere. So it's a double reading at the, wait a minute. Am I missing a card? Yeah. Whoops. Yes. Okay. Got it. At a reduced rate to help you along. So if you're interested in that, click on the link and they will fill up fast, as I will be out of town for a week already, upping my vibe at the Joe Dispenza Advanced Retreat for co-healers. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with deck number 1. Oh, okay. Protecting your treasure is what came out. And that is a 39 if you're into numerology. It's a 3, it's a 9. And 3 is about communication, but it's perception first, really. Because if you define communication, it's about what you believe in your heart and in your mind and how that works for you and how is it working for you. And so perception and beliefs and 9 are ending. So we need to start thinking about different choices and how to view something from a different perspective, perhaps through a different lens. And so this particular card came out in reversed. And because upright, it is kind of strengthening bonds in the upright position. Also kind of asking for help from your angels, your guides. And I want to show you at the bottom here, you see those 2 mushrooms? Those are red cap mushrooms, and they are far away from this woman under the umbrella. I don't know. Is that blurry for you? Can you see that? Okay. So she's protecting her heart, really, and her treasures. And those red cap mushrooms right there are poisonous. And so because this card came out in reverse, if you're someone who picked this deck, I want you to be aware of when you give your heart freely and you're constantly giving, and some unconscious part of you has an expectation, and it's childlike, not childish, that you'll get back. And then when you don't, it's so disappointing. And it can really be a trust issue. So you might say, "Oh my gosh, I gave my heart away. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I have given to so many people, and now, I'm a little wary." So that takes us into a place of mistrust, because you were vulnerable when you were giving, with the idea that your heart's open. Yay, hope they accept it. Now, if you gave when someone wasn't asking, that's an issue, because then that takes you to empowerment. It doesn't feel good when someone says, yeah, goodbye. I didn't want that. I didn't ask for that. It helps you to look at what you're doing and the motivation behind it. What's your why? So if you chose this card in reverse, let me show it to you the upright. Sorry, backwards. I want you to look at where you might, and this can be reversed, feel taken advantage of in any relationship, or where you feel like you have to rush to get ahead to get the thing before it runs out, and thereby taking advantage of a situation, but not consciously causing harm. So it can be one or the other. And there's no judgment on any of this, because we're all learning. We're all learning and we're growing. So I think the solution for this card is, I'm going to pull another card, because I like the fact that sometimes I need a magnifying glass. I don't know what's behind it. Anyway, there's a beautiful crystal light shining on her treasure chest. And there's a little bird sitting up on top of the umbrella, right? So there's an indication that messages will come if you open your heart, but also having healthy boundaries. And I want you to assess your personal loyalties. You know, sometimes you care more. If you chose deck number 1, sometimes you care more about someone's situation than they do. And so you give your all, your heart, your soul. And then let's say someone's going through a breakup and they're really sad about it. And somebody cheated on your friend and you're like, yeah, come on, you deserve more. And and then 2 months later, they go back to the same person after you've just done everything to be so super uber loyal. Let's pull another card and see what the narrative is here and what's behind it. Let's find out what's behind it. And it may not deal with loyalties with another person. It could be you're shortchanging yourself and being stingy with yourself. How many times, if you chose deck number 1, have you gone out and bought things? Oh, so-and-so would love that. Oh, that purse, she loves purple, or this, I'm going to get them that extra treat because it's on sale, but then you won't do it for yourself. So if it's that definition, that also applies to let's be giving percentage wise to others the same as you give to yourself to create equality. Then your treasures are always in your heart, your chest. Your treasures are always here, but you decide when and how to give. Not when you're exhausted, not when you're on your last, minute of the day. Hey, can you take me to the airport? It's 9:00 at night. Okay, sure. Yeah. But then when you have a need, they're not there. So if you have relationships like that in your life, it's not because of them. It's because we all are the magnet for everything in our world. So let's just go a little deeper with deck number 1. And be kind to yourself, please. No, you're hiding on me. There you are. Okay, this makes sense to me. So we go from, I'm running out of space here. So we go from 39, and 9 represents endings, and 3 is communication, which deals with perceptions first before you ever open your mouth to speak. It's how you feel. It's looking at something and saying, what's that? I don't trust that. Or it's looking at and someone else might go, oh yeah, I totally trust it. And then they jump right in and you're thinking, should I be listening to them? No, you got to trust you. You have to trust your feelings, not based on past experiences so much, but based on the fact that you are present and your intuition is open and your heart is open. And you say, yeah, I'm not going to go in that direction. I wish them well, and I'm going that way. And that's all it is. And when you say, I'm going that way, because you're trusting yourself and your instincts and your gut, we go right into the unknown. All right, that looks kind of creepy, but it's not. It's like a masquerade party. Again, look, a bird. So let's listen to the messages. And if a bird actually shows up in your world, just stops and stares at you, the animal nature spirits, crystals, plants, they're all our friends, and messages are communed through them. And so here she is trying to find her way. And it's into the unknown. It's a number 7. And the 7 also represents, aside from the hanging back a little bit, doing more research, being more spiritual, being open to being spiritual. People say, oh, I meditate all the time. And yet the first time they stub their toe, they're cursing. It's like, well, okay, are you applying what you have learned? Are you altering your patterns? Are you expanding neuroplasticity so that you have a different response instead of a reaction to something that has happened over and over again? Because that's all we do is we repeat the past over and over again. We're hardwired to repeat the past. Excuse me. So when into the unknown comes, and what I like about this card is that you could tell she's lifting her leg because the ruffle in the skirt. She's already lifting her leg. She's taking a forward step. She's braving the future. the next moment. I'm going to just see if Colette has, oh, it's about trust. And it's trusting, where this is mistrust based on past experience and feeling used or abused, or that you just need to reflect on your loyalties to yourself first and then to others. And it's okay. It's, we're not here to argue. An argument is not a fight. It's not yelling. An argument is a point of view. We're not here to argue for our limitations. I am quoting the Collective of Abraham through Esther. We're not here to argue for our limitations, but yet to look at someone else and say, oh, wow, I really just gave and gave and gave. Now I'm going to step back. Now I'm going to harmonize. And we're in the energy of the Libra eclipse, solar eclipse already. So we're harmonizing the extremes. So if you're always giving, 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 now you step back and let it come to you. If you're always back and in the shadows and waiting to see how it shapes up before you commit because you don't trust, now I want you to take a few steps forward and you're going to move right into the unknown. And Colette talks about creating the path instead of waiting to walk on one. And that new treasures will become available. So here we are protecting our treasures, our heart. And here we are creating new ones because we trust before we take that step. I love that. I hope this has helped. Heather says, giving to myself as much as I give to others. Bingo. Bingo. And Bingo was her name. Oh. Okay. I'm going to take a sip. Okay. Brianka, pick number 3. Heather, number 1. Sasha, hi. Happy full moon from Utah. Woo, it was big. It was so big. It startled me. I went outside. We had some issues in the house and I just went outside and I was like, oh my gosh, Dean, come. And he came running and he looked up and he was like, oh, it was so big and bright and beautiful. So, supermoon, full moon, supermoon, harvest moon. All right, we're moving on now to Heavenly Bodies by Lily Ashwell. I love the artwork. It's so delicate. All right, this is number 2. And whoopsie. Sometimes I have a plastic bin, where you would put like foods storage. And anyway, it's got handles. And I have all my cards there. And sometimes when I play with them during the week or right after an oracle reading, I don't always put them back and they're mixed because I will combine different cards, which I might start doing in the future. All right. So if you chose deck number 2, here we are, Heavenly Bodies. Okay, what are we sextiling? That's what I want to know. Let's see the story here. Okay, a sextile is 60 degrees in astrology. And it's a pleasant, it represents a pleasant angle between 2 heavenly bodies. It could be, and you know what? Let me just show you. Okay, here's an example. We have Saturn is sextiling Mars right now. So it looks like a cross. Or it looks like a Pisces symbol almost. So it looks like a cross. Why is that so small? Let's see if we can make it bigger. I don't know if that helped. But anyway, here's a sextile. And it's a 60-degree angle. Oh, okay. Now I can see it. No. So Pluto is sextiling Neptune. So the 60 degrees right here. I couldn't see it before. It was too small. Sextile, 60 degrees. And it brings up, like a semi-sextile would be like a V with a line. And it brings up, that's not okay. I don't think I want that. But yet the combination of the mirror images, but now I know what I do want. So it is an opportunity. But it doesn't always feel 100% like an inspired opportunity. It feels like, "Oh, the light broke. Now what am I going to do?" Okay, well, your choice is to complain and moan about it or find a solution. And if you believe that the solution is there, if you chose deck number 2, then what you're going to encounter is rebuilding something, restructuring something, valuing something of greater import. And then you'll find the reward in the situation. And the second card I pulled, which was hiding on me, is the Capricorn card. And Capricorn is a cardinal sign, and it takes its time to grow. Ambition, what does she have here? Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. So here's what's interesting, that right now in the heavens, Pluto is in Capricorn, and it's sextiling Neptune in Pisces. And the Pisces actually looks, the symbol of Pisces looks like a sextile. And so we're about to head into, Pluto's heading into Aquarius in January of 2024. But right now, we're just finishing up. What are some final things we need to let go of? What are some of the limitations that don't work for us anymore? What about some of those fears that we have that we thought were guiding us and protecting us from harm or keeping us safe? But we realize, oh, wait a second, that's actually limiting me. And with this angle to Neptune, it's also telling me that you have, I'm not going to call it an outright addiction. An addiction, I don't mean a chemical addiction, although it could be. It's like, oh, you love chocolate at midnight, whatever. Or I used to be addicted to motion in a way where if I felt horrible, I wanted to get in my car and drive away, just leave, especially in a relationship. I just want to get in the car and go away. So if ever, and I've encountered that, I'd say once this past year only, and the impulse is so strong that I thought, okay, see, I'm hardwired to run from something I feel is unsafe or it is unhealthy. Because 30, 40 years ago, I had the worst I attracted nice people, but in the relationship, it was so unhealthy and toxic. And so when you get this feeling of what am I addicted to? That's the question. What am I addicted to? Is it food? Is it talking and not listening? You want to see what the extremes are, what's taking you out of your center. And so with Capricorn, it would be stoicism. It would be related to, I can handle it. But yet deep down inside, you're sad, you're crying, you're upset. And so how are you handling it? I got to get to work. I've got to clean the house, so it's like, whoa. And something I like to ask every Capricorn energy, whether it's sun, rising, or moon, when they walk in the house, they have an arm full of groceries, the phone is ringing, and they have to pee really bad. What do they do first? Most times, the self-denial, self-abusive version is, I answer the phone. Because that's about dedicated service to others. Capricorn loves to have dedicated service to others. And with Pluto in Capricorn now, it's digging deep into, do you have to do that right now? Your body is talking to you. Your body's talking to you. So if you chose deck number 2, where do you look at something and have a negative reaction first? And then ask yourself, okay, why? Why did I just recoil, or, I froze or my back got stiff or I said no? And how can I take that tension and put it into flow? How can I how can I view the perspective of my core self, that's Pluto in Capricorn, and see an ideal vision, which is Neptune, without becoming addicted to something? And some people get addicted to readings without applying the information. I mean, I give readings, so I'm not saying don't get a reading. What I'm saying, and any kind of reading, it could be tarot reading, crystal reading, shamanic healing, whatever you're doing, if you're not applying it. I know someone who is very devout in a religious kind of way, but not so much the church or a church, but it's just follows a scripture from a different country, but yet in the actual everyday world, filled with fear. So there's a bridge missing, and that's what the sextile. I wonder if I can make this even bigger to show you. It doesn't get much bigger. I mean, on my desktop, it's like the moon. Okay, but the sextile right there, you see, it's like the V with a line and then the mirror image V underneath it, sharing the same line. So what are you not seeing? Deck number 2. Where do you go to this extreme, and or where do you stop yourself from expansion because you want to do something, but then suddenly you're like, I'm just going to watch a few videos before I finish up. You know, it's like you work really hard and then you become addicted to work and working hard. And then so stop and ask yourself, if you've been working toward creating a business, expanding your reach, getting something done around the house, working on better communication in family or relationships, are you the one who's always pursuing? Are you the one who's always, comes in at the last minute and is the savior? Are you the one who's always doing the work? Now, it kind of sounds like the first reading, but with this one, I would say this realization is a lot about denial of gratification. Deck number 2. How about you have dessert before dinner? Whatever that means to you. And I don't mean specifically food. It can be, you treat yourself before you treat everybody else. How about that? How about you give yourself a break and you put your feet up in the middle of the day and take a nap? And then you call yourself lazy? That's one half of the sextile. That's the tension. It's like, I should be working. I should be doing. I should be achieving. I should be there already. I've been dieting for 6 years. And so then you get into starvation mode. So it's denial of gratification. Go have a French fry. Okay, but not McDonald's because they spray them with horrible chemicals. Make your own food. Does this help? Is this helping? Okay. With the sextile also and Capricorn, Capricorn is represented by a goat who's climbing a mountain, but also has a tail in the ocean. So it's the mystical. So okay, wow, I just gave myself chills because Pluto is about the core. It's getting to the top. It's getting to the bottom. It's getting to the core of the matter. Slow, steady steps. But the sextile to Neptune is in the sea. It's mystical, it's magical. So use spirituality to help you listen and readjust your dial toward what feels appropriate in the now. And then your sextile moment brings you the ease of flow. So start saying to yourself, instead of, you're on the phone, you're trying to get through to the sales rep, and your order was delayed or didn't show or came and it was broken, and you get transferred to someone in another country, and you're like, okay, I don't feel like I'm getting my needs met. So hang up, say thank you, hang up, and do some inner work. That's one half of the extreme, right? Do some inner work, do some breathing, listen to some meditations. The Joe Dispenza kaleidoscope meditation, it's black and gold. Go on YouTube, find it, gaze at the center and just watch it. You are always at the center. Every moment is now. Anything is possible. It's everything everywhere all at once. And then you keep gazing at the center until there's no more icky feeling here about who you talk to and who's going to help you, who's not going to help you. And the gripe that you're carrying because deep down, I could do it better myself. Okay, we need other people. That's why we're here. So the Capricorn part then calms down. It uses the mystical, the magical, the spiritual to create the other half toward the powerful. And then when you feel great, you get back on the phone and already knowing my needs are met. My needs are met. My needs are met, even if I don't know how to meet them fully. and you create that bridge. I hope this is making sense, and I hope this is helpful. Let me just check in with people. Joe, let me find the Joe Dispenza thing, and I'll just see if I could put it right here. I have 2 computers because one is very old and it only does certain things, and now I can see if I can get to it. And I don't want it to start playing. Let me find it. Joe Dispenza kaleidoscope video. And here it is. And I have to immediately pause it because of, all right, I will put the video, I'll share it, but it also has like ads in it. So if you could just find somewhere in the middle or somewhere to just play a couple of minutes. Oh, let me skip ads. Okay, great. Oh, there it is. And it comes with Buddhist chanting. I love it. Okay, so let me just pause that. I'm going to share it right into this page. I hope it works. Okay, so just do that because it puts you in the now. You're in the now. Then the thought comes and goes, oh, I forgot to clean the toaster. Now, you're in the now. It's like, oh, I have to remember to now. You come back to now, always. You will always have thoughts. You will always have feelings. There will always be something to distract you. But if it doesn't feel aligned, it is not for you. Okay, so here it is. I hope it doesn't play. Well, there it is. There's the link. You can grab that link and you can go and check that out. Okay, so that was deck number 2. Christy says, Heather, if you click all the, I see. You're giving some issue problems. We've had issues. Freezing. Anybody else experiencing freezing? It could be you might have to clear your cache in your computer because that frees up memory and things won't fragment as much. All right, so now we're moving on to deck number 3. And I'm just going to move that. All right, so now we're moving on to, okay. Okay, I'm going to take this card, but I didn't even shuffle the deck. But before we do that, hang on. This is deck number 3, Goddess Power Oracle with Colette Baron-Reid. And I'm going to take a sip. How is everyone doing? Okay, so we have someone spamming us, and we're going to delete the comment and block the user. We're going to, whoopsie, I have to, it happens. Then we're going to delete. And then we're going to delete. Anybody else want to come in? Do not test me today. Okay. I had great sleep last night, dreaming heavily all week, and that coherence energy meditation that a healing that I had yesterday from a group was phenomenal. Okay, so now let me just check in for deck number 3. And that was the first one. I mixed her up, and there she is again. So let me just grab the next one. Ooh, these are such beautiful cards and beautiful women. So the first one that came out, if you chose deck number 3, the Colette Baron-Reid Goddess, Mama Kila, the moon. Now I'm going to go to the book on this one because I want to hear what she has to say, but then I will talk about the symbolism that I see on her crystal healing stones. And whatever we have, and I'm going to pick this up. It's on my desk. It's very heavy. So hang on. Whenever we have I have citrine in my crystal ball. And whenever we have a full moon, I like to work with this buddy of mine. And what they tell me a lot of times is, you see all the inclusions, right? It is about all the amazing feelings. Oh my God, that weighs like 10 pounds. All the amazing feelings that we have. And sometimes when we're stuck in a similar feeling repeatedly and we can't seem to get out of it, we keep focusing on the feeling. Then we talk about the feeling to others. And then we go into counseling about the feeling. And the more we talk about it, the bigger it grows. So if you are having repetitive emotions or feelings or stuckness based on repetitive emotions or feelings, and you can't really hear your intuition very well, what I want you to do is really look at what is the opposite of that feeling? Find neutral ground, and then what is the opposite of that particular feeling? Now, this is a 32, and 3 represents our perceptions and beliefs. And belief is just something you think over and over again. It doesn't mean it's true, but you think it's true for you. And then the 2, and the 2 represents the pillars. Here's you, here's them, or the rest of the world. And it's about you moving between the 2 pillars to create unity so that empathy grows between you and another person, you and a group. But ultimately, it's your head and your heart that need to commune, because your head could be thinking one thing repeatedly, and your body and your heart saying, that doesn't feel right. And your head's like, no, 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 this is really good. We're going to go do this. Right? How many times do we experience that? So, and while we are in, if you're watching this on September 29th, 2023, and while we are in a full moon, super harvest moon, now is a great time to just get centered and feel where you are feeling something but not expressing it. Feel like, again, it's like, and now I want to go to the book, but it's like, how many times am I going to have this feeling? And why can't I resolve it? And if it's about another person, friend, family, lover, if it's about that, or me feeling like I'm against the odds or like a misfit toy, it's about harmonizing with intuition and really allowing yourself to be present. I mean, always, for any sign in any oracle reading, be present with what you're feeling. But this is a lot about the cycles of relationships, she says. Personal growth, creative projects, and honest with yourself. You will see there's no way to control cycles, only to use creative energy to offer help to you. So no matter what, like the cycles of the moon, there is divine order in everything that is happening in your life right now. Once you know this, the goddess, Mama Kila, welcomes you to her divine moon dance of co-creation. And I'm not familiar with this goddess, and it is a fertility goddess. When to store, when to harvest, when to store. We are in a harvest time. If you're watching from down under, you're just entering spring, and so you're deciding on what to plant for the future harvest. If you're in North America, this is about, when do you celebrate your fertility? Becoming a mother, becoming a wife, becoming someone who is well known or respected, right? So right now you are invited to see what is familiar and decide whether you need to improve it or leave things as they are. And the second card that came out, and these cards are these women, I don't know where Colette found these women, but they are just gorgeous. And her name is Yuki Onna, stillness. You will find it in the stillness. What does this equal? It equals a 5. 5 sits on a rocker. Let me think about the past. I'm not ready to move forward yet. I got to think about the past, not ready to move forward yet. And eventually, when you are, you shoot out of the chair, and it's play, and it's fun, and it's travel, and it's new experience, and it's cultural, and you want to just mix it all up and have a great time. So if you're stuck in a rut, deck number 3, then this is the second one that came out. Gorgeous, right? Oh my gosh. Yuki Onna, 52, stillness. You have to be present with how you feel. I want to know what it says on her forehead. 52, 5, and a 2. 2 is empathy. And look at the moon card. Look at the moon symbol. I love that right there on the card. So, and a 5 and a 2 is a 7. And just like the other deck we had, the first one, the 7 is about inner reflection, spirituality, inner training, research, a recovery. You push out into a 7 and the world pushes back. It's like, no, you haven't done your work yet. Go in. How do you really feel about this? What is your belief system? Years ago, it feels like a million years ago, when I asked myself, I was raised in a Greek Orthodox community. Lovely people. I just didn't know if I believed the religion. And especially when I was shamed for menstruating and then wanting to receive communion. And I thought, well, that's not inclusive. That's a male God figure saying, well, what does that do to my female psyche? I chose to be born female in this lifetime, to know what it's like to allow, to be receptive, to receive. It doesn't work for me. I mean, I'm very proactive in a lot of ways. And, I'm very sensitive too. So I had to question it. And I want you to start questioning. Yeah, it starts with what you're attracting, and you look and you say, I don't know if I like that or that kind of style clothing or that religion or that politic or those kinds of people, because they're in there saying, how do you feel about us? What do you think about us? But now in the stillness is when you come to that place of inner knowing. And a lot of times people just want to get on a train and go away. And instead, it's like, no, the train's going to take you in. The Japanese goddess of winter, Yuki Onna, calls you to a practice of daily meditation and stillness to prepare you for greater productivity and results. Being open and receptive, slowing down, and allowing for time to dream activates your partnership with the universe so you can truly set your intentions into motion. Let others make the first move, as this is the time for you to assess and observe the world around you from a profound position of stillness and neutrality. Do you understand? Right? You might say, oh no, I applied for a new job and I got rejected. I know for a fact that those other candidates know less than me. It's not about the people. It's not about the rejection. It's about truth. So if you are not in tune with the fact that, why do you really want this job? Well, I need cash, or I really wanted to work for that company, and you don't get that job, and you feel like, well, what else can I do? Nothing. You do nothing. You observe the fact that you wanted something so badly, but why? You didn't get it. Okay. Does that mean you won't get the next one? Does that mean it's just when a door closes? I mean, this is an age-old adage, right? The door closes, the window opens. So it's like, if you're so bent on the outside world and looking at the matter, you're not paying attention to what's happening in here. You need to be in a receptive mode to say, oh my gosh, I just realized something. I knew somebody once who went to college, got a degree, and went for that one industry and went for that one company. And I said, intuitively, it feels like that is not the place for you. They were like, nope, it's got status. I will get a big paycheck. And okay, they were miserable. And they left after a year and they went somewhere else, and they love it, and they're revered, and they're bonused. So it's like, it's not always about what's going on in your head. It's about what is the actual vibration that you're putting into the world, mixed messages. So in this way of being still, the world becomes more intimate, yet you know to take nothing personally. When the goddess Yuki Onna comes to support you, be still. This call is in the miracles. The action now is non-action. And people sometimes don't like to hear that, especially if they're very proactive. Does that make sense? Is that helping? Please let me know in the comment section whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook. Please remember to share, like, subscribe. I really appreciate that. Gets my message out there. And also, if this is applying to you. And if it doesn't, maybe one of the other cards in hindsight, if you go to watch the video once I get the YouTube thing set up, I have to go in and change some settings every time I do a video, so that you get the best out of the channel. There, I was thinking of something else, because I I look at this card and I almost feel like I'm in a dream. Like this one, she actually feels like a Cancer to me. Like, you look at this person and you go, "All right, let's get wise. Let's be present. Let's feel our feelings. Let's increase our intuition. I am watching. I am paying attention to the outer world so that I can alter the inner world. And then I need to pay attention to the inner world so I can manifest and change in the outer world." And then I look at this card and I get this feeling of, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Just be present. You're so powerful. You want to make matter, you want to change matter. It starts on the inside. It starts on the inside. Because if it doesn't resonate with you, whatever it is, you go to a store and you're like, "I love this pen. It's $5 more than the other. I love it." If it's of value to you and you love it and it's resonating your frequency, then you do it. If you meet somebody and they want to be your friend, and you just have this momentary flash of hesitation, not resistance, just hesitation. There is a distinction, right? Resistance says no, and you're fighting yourself. And so you attract arguments, or you attract contradictory people. But you're doing your thing, you're feeling really happy, you're kind of flowing with it. And then suddenly you meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, are you home tomorrow? Can I come over?" Or "What are you doing next week? Can we get together?" And you just have this, what a nice person, but nice is a sandwich. Is that what I want to be ingesting? I don't know. I'm hesitating. Thanks. I'll get back to you. And then you go in and you feel the feeling. I don't know what it is about this person, but I just feel like I'm being redirected. And there's no judgment about the other person. It's just not the vibe for you. Do you understand? That's really important, that we're not judging it and putting something down to make us better because we say, "Yeah, it's not for me." Are you crazy? No. It's more like, in my personal stillness, be still, be still, be still. In my personal stillness, I'm not resonating that vibe. Maybe I will in 6 months or a year or next week, but right now I'm not. So thank you. I really appreciate that. That's why this morning, when I got a phone call after, an hour of crazy, what? Hello? And scams and viruses, and things were breaking. And I was like, "Honey, this is kind of funny." It's just showing us how we can respond instead of react. And then I get a phone call from someone right here who I think is a lovey. And I just was like, my head was in that space. I was like, "I'm sorry. Yeah, this is it. Bye." I have to laugh because I picked up the phone because my initial instinct was, "Oh yeah, pick up the phone. It's for you," because I did not recognize the number, even after all the cockadoodles we had earlier. But if I had listened to that instinct, I would have just calmed down and asked questions on the phone instead of assumed that it was a scam caller. We all go there. I don't stay there. I listen to when something feels like it's nagging at you. Now, this is all right. That's the close for the third reading, but this is for everyone. When you feel like something is nagging at you, it's like that niggly little, what is that feeling? It feels like maybe I said something. Maybe I stepped on someone's toes. Maybe somebody stepped on mine and I don't realize that I was insulted. I have to be still. I have to listen. I have to be with myself. Because when you make the body-mind connection, the spirit can come through so much more easily. And there's no resistance. Ka-cha. Does that help? I hope so. So I will be back. Thanks for being here and thanks for listening. So let's see. Oh yeah, we have all security stuff in place. We don't use Norton, but we have all security stuff in place. But things eked in. They just showed up, and so we just double checked and redid and blah blah. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing my page, and thanks for being here, everyone. I just want to let you know. Let's see. I'll get back from a Joe Dispenza Advanced Coherence Healing Group. And then I'll be here on Thursday. You believe it's October already? I'll be here on Thursday. We'll be in the vibe of the solar eclipse. And I have certain spots opened for October and November. We're going to be feeling this for months. The solar eclipse is at, is it 28 degrees Libra, I think? And yeah, no, 21 degrees Libra, 8 minutes. And the lunar eclipse is 5 degrees Taurus. And that'll be the last cycle for Taurus for a while, as we had that last April. And so we're going to be shifting gears, opening up, really understanding how to utilize our inner power to make outer manifestation. And it feels like magic. It is. And people will say to me, how did you just do that? You didn't even open your mouth and they came to you and gave you the thing you wanted. I was like, well, because I trusted it would come. I created it in my mind and I actually created the feeling of having it in my hand. And then it's like, no, the doors are closed. They're not taking any more. And then the door opens and it's like, oh, one more. Thanks. So trust that it's happening and watch where your mind goes. That's all. Right? That's all. Wait, it says new comment. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed this, Carla. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Thank you for put some love into the world. Just be in that space of, I love that I am love. Welcome to my cafe. I love that I am love. And as always, I wish you peace. I'll be back next Thursday, the 12th. Same bat time, same bat channel, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. And that'll change when the clocks change, but I'll let you know. Thanks for being here, folks, and I'll see you next time. Oh, so remember, oh my gosh, there I was. Or just remember that I've got only so many of these sessions. Go grab one. You'll know if it's for you. All right, folks. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful week.